Up next, the Weather Channel brought in star meteorologist Kamala Harris to discuss the ongoing hurricane in Florida. We're going to take a listen, and I'm going to explain why she got something really quite wrong in her remarks.
Hurricane Helene. Finally, as the president mentioned, to any company or individual that might use this crisis to exploit people who are desperate for help through illegal fraud or price gouging, whether it be at the gas pump, the airport, or the hotel counter, know that we are monitoring these behaviors and the situation on the ground very closely, and anyone taking advantage of consumers will be held accountable.
So I couldn't quite tell from her remarks whether she knows this or not, but Florida already has what are known as anti-price gouging laws on the books that make it illegal to charge excessive prices and punish companies with fines if they do so during an emergency. Kamala clearly supports this. She's doubling down on it. She's warning companies not to do this evil, greedy, nasty thing. And I'm sorry, this is one of those areas where basic economics just conflicts with what feels good emotionally. Because obviously, when we think about the prospect of companies jacking up prices during a disaster, when people are kind of desperate, that feels icky. That feels bad. And I understand that sentiment. I really do. But emotions aren't a good substitute for Econ 101. And in reality, in practice, price gouging laws are really harmful and counterproductive. It's actually important that prices be allowed to be raised significantly during emergencies, because it's one of the only mechanisms we have to ensure adequate rationing, that only the people that really need the thing actually go and get it. As the economist Ryan Bourne pointed out on Twitter, he's hearing that those in Tampa area gas stations have obeyed anti-price gouging laws and kept their prices low despite demand surging. Unfortunately, there's now no gas for those who urgently need enough just to get outside the hurricane path. Let me explain why this might be. Basically, if, say that during the emergency, they raise the price of gas to $6 a gallon, only the people who really need gas are going to go pay that. People who just are kind of nervous, they've got half a tank, but I'll go fill it up just because there might not be gas for a while, but they already have enough to get out of the range of the hurricane. They would still go if it's still $3, but if it gets increased to drastic levels, they will ration accordingly. And only the people that need it the most will go out and get it. That's actually good and important and must be allowed to happen, or you end up with shortages and people running out because people are consuming something that aren't the ones that actually need it. People will end up trapped where there's no gas because everyone bought it because it stayed at a somewhat normal price and everyone just panics before a disaster. The people who actually have an empty tank and can't get out because of the hurricane are out of luck. All because these politicians wanted to write laws that sound good and didn't think through the economic consequences. The other key Econ 101 reason that price gouging laws are counterproductive is that those high prices encourage people to increase the supply. Oh, wow, they're selling $6 a gallon gas. We got to get some extra gas down there ASAP to cash in on that. You're going to have an increased supply quicker. You're going to have an increased disaster response time, and companies will be incentivized to keep more stores and more inventory in places that are prone to hurricanes and prone to disasters because they can cash in. All of this has a basic resource management function that is disrupted when the government tries to play morality police and stop companies from charging high prices when demand is high. It might not feel good to let companies profit off of people's desperation, but when the government meddles and tries to micromanage the economy, it very often has consequences that are unintended but far outweigh any positive. And price gouging laws are no exception. What do you think? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments.